guys, welcome back to the Safe Room. You know what it is. It's the President Sean Williams. You know what it be. Today we got a special episode. I got my man, the one and only MUSTI. What's up?
Sir. What's goody, man?
Man, I'm good. Having you on this podcast episode is really a special moment for me, because the work you've been doing has been great, man.
Nah, bro. I've seen the work you've been putting in with this podcast, man. It's dope to see, man. For real. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. So, today we're just going to talk about your upcoming, your music as well. Before we get into that, just a quick announcement for everyone. The season finale of The Safe Room is coming up soon. I'll be dropping the details for that. Make sure you go follow all the episodes I've done on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Anchor. And yeah, you ready to get started, man?
Let's do it.
All right. So I know there's a lot of people that look at you in so many different ways. They're like, yo, that's MUSTI. Yo, he's the artist. Yo, that's MUSTI. Yo, that's my bro. That's my dog.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously there's MUSTI as you, just how you came up. So what's behind the narrative of MUSTI, yourself? What was your upcoming, just as an individual?
Right. So, well, first of all, MUSTI is just my name. So that's just, what my nickname, what people have been calling me since I was a kid and shit. But, just as an individual, just coming up, and I was born in Calgary. I moved around when I was younger, moved to the Middle East when I was 7. So, I've been around a little bit. Just started, been writing since I was young, 10, 11, kind of. I remember making my first lyrics and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Just vaguely kind of remember just coming up with stuff in my head and things like that. But yeah, man, as a person, man, I'm just me, man. I'm just cool, kind of quiet, but humble. I'm just me, man. I don't really know.
Yeah, I respect that. I know the first time I met you, it was through class and stuff.
Yeah. Business and society.
Mm-hmm. All the Booster majors out there. Shout out to you guys.
Shout out.
Yeah, man. And it's very astonishing how you're writing at such a young age. For me, I'm not gonna lie. Rapping, it's that's not even my mental. That's not my thing. I can't put words to pen so quick.
Yeah, nah, I feel you.
It
was just kind of I just remember kind of thinking of little lyrics and stuff when I was that young, and then kind of as I got older, actually just putting them together into actual verses and things like that. Just experimenting with it and stuff. But yeah, that's when it really started. Kind of when the seed was planted. When the music kind of started coming in. I remember recording a little freestyle kind of when I was 11, bro, on garage band type shit. So
mm-hmm.
it's been there for a while,
Yeah, that's amazing. Just there's a lot of guys just trying to find their own platform to just build on, and for you to just be able to again, garage band, that's usually the starting point for some of some musicians and rappers like you. If you have to make a beat, you may not be able to use a software, use anything to your advantage at first. It starts with simple things, right?
Man, you just gotta work with what you have at first, and then it'll just expand from there. Once you get the basics down, of the basic software and stuff, then you could really do magic. Once you start practicing on that, and then you upgrade to the actual the actual softwares that people use.
Yeah.
Professionals, once you get to that level, it's gonna be easier, because you already got that.
Yeah.
You got the basic knowledge down and stuff,
Yeah. So I know, like you said, just from a young age, you just knew that you wanted to do music. But is there a specific moment where you could date back and say, what, just from experiencing that, you just knew this was meant for you to do?
Yeah. So kind of going back to that, it was kind of, so when I was 14, that was my first time performing in front of people, right? It was a little project for English class. And it was one of those ones where And the teacher was just like, do something creative, like anything. You could draw a picture, you could write a story, right? Do something creative, Like it was no rules for the project or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was like thinking of what to do and shit. And then like a couple of days before it was due, I was like, fuck it, let me try writing a rap or something, performing it. And so I did it, right? And I was super nervous to perform it, like fucking like mad nervous. Like the whole class had to kind of like, tell me to go up and stuff and, push me to do it and stuff. But I did it and it was cool. Like people liked it and stuff. So that was my first time performing. And then um that was when I was 14, like eighth grade. But
Mhm.
yeah, so later, like high school was when I actually, because high school I had a friend that was making music too. He was making music since we was like in eighth grade, and he was getting good at it. And so I was just like talking to him, like just kind of messing around, like, yo, let me get on a song and stuff. Because I was already rapping and shit too, but I wasn't really like actually recording songs and stuff at the time. And then yeah, we ended up making a song together. It was like 11th grade, so like 16 years old or something. And yeah, we made a song. It's called Commotion. I think it's on all streaming platforms right now. But yeah, it's called Commotion. You could go check it out if you want. Anybody listening.
Oh yeah, yo, like right now, like everyone listening, go check it out, man.
Oh yeah, man, that's like my first thing I ever like put out. You know what I'm saying? But like we ended up performing that in front of the school. It was like a little assembly, right?
Hmm.
Assembly, and they told us to come perform it like as a like, what do you call it? Like for the talent show. They wanted to like bring attention to the talent
Oh
show. So
yeah,
we did
just have
like a little,
different acts come up.
yeah. So we did like a little performance to like kind of bring attention to the talent show and stuff. So yeah, we did that, and it was just like the funnest thing I ever did. Right? It was just like lit, and I loved it. And I was like, I was nervous at first, but after I did it, I was like, damn, this is tight. Like the feeling I got when I was on stage and stuff, it was just like, yo, like I can get paid for this.
He's like, yo, hold on a minute. Like, yeah, it's like the moments you start to like reminisce. Like, I know I said I'm not like a guy that like that's like, considers as a rapper, but I did used to write like poems, especially like, when you're in like arts class or drama class and everything, where they have to tell you to do these assignments. I
Right.
was like a way with words in terms of like being very poetic, but I wasn't like the rapping type. But I could imagine like the fear like going on and having to perform because like it's not just how you perform, it's how people are gonna react as well. Like, yo, is he gonna drop
Nice.
bars? Is he gonna say something like woke? Like whatever
Yeah,
he
yeah,
spoke to under
yeah.
pressure. So like I totally understand how that feels, man.
Yeah. It's kind of just that fear. It's you get that, but then once you do it, and once you realize it's nothing to worry about, to be honest. Like after you actually just get through it on time. But yeah, man. After that, I was like, shit. Like this is dope. I'd rather, man. I like this. And yeah, like it was just like after that, the next year, like when my senior year, I took this music production class, and that's when I actually started, recording myself and like making songs and stuff. Because I didn't have no equipment, right? Like at the time, I didn't have no
Yeah.
microphone. So like in the music production class, we could take home the equipment. So I just took home the mic and like a little keyboard, whatever. And that's when I just started practicing and stuff. Practicing recording myself and like making songs, and you know what I'm saying, just working on my craft like from then. So yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. And like, so like, how's the process like when it comes to like making your music? Because I know for some people, they may find it hard to like sit down for a given amount of time and actually come up with something. Maybe for you, it may be easier based on how you're feeling, based on how your day's going. So maybe you want to describe how the process is for you.
Right. The process is different every time. It's like, it really depends. Sometimes the ideas will flow faster. Sometimes it'll just be, you just be chilling and you think of something, you just jot it down real quick. Sometimes you just be in bed, you just think of a bar or something, and you'll fucking write it down. Like it really just depends. Like sometimes I'll just, I usually do it in pieces, like my songs I just make like some, and then come back to it later,
Yeah.
and then just work like that. But yeah, man, it really depends though. Like it depends on the type of song and shit.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So like
Yeah,
what style would you say you mostly like you lean to more when it comes to like writing your songs? I know for some people they say they're more of like they like to be more gritty, like they have to have this type of energy when they're on a track. Some people say like I focus more on the lyrics more than just the energy. Like what is like your style that you want people to know when it comes to your music?
I mean, I like to use like a lot of melodies. Make it catchy. Like when I'm rapping and singing, like just just make it kind of like smooth, something like people can rock to and fucking something that'll get stuck in your head.
Yeah,
It's like catchy melodies and hooks and things like that. But it depends. Sometimes I just put out that song that I put out like a week ago. It was like more like just rapping. You know what I mean? Not as much singing and stuff. So
yeah, absolutely.
I'd say it's kind of just a mix of like singing and just rapping. It's like
Yeah.
a
It's
mix of
good to have that versatility like within your music and like just
yeah.
on the topic of your song, like same old, like, I really enjoyed it, listening to it, man. Like you were flipping a lot of bars. Like that was great. And like, I think the skill set that you have is like many people can throw like punchlines or like try to do like rhyming schemes. Like I feel like you're able to do that and deliver a message as well. So like, you're tapping into different like levels,
Yeah,
but like
yeah.
was there like a motivation when you wrote that one? Or was it just like again one of those days where, just kind of went down and is like, you know what, I'm just gonna talk about this.
Yeah, no, it was just the climate that we're in and stuff. It was just, it felt needed. It was just like because you see these things happening and like the things that's going on and you don't see nothing changing. You know what I'm saying? That's the like it's just like the same old shit. You know what I'm saying? Like since time. Like 2014, Eric Garner was saying I can't breathe, and then this year,
Mm-hmm.
Sort is saying I can't breathe. It's just like you got hope. It's always like that little hope that things are gonna get better, but then it's just like, damn, like, is it really? Like, is it really gonna get better? Is it just, or are they just like giving you that hope just so you can kind of hold on to it, and then they're just gonna go back and do the things they've been doing, So that was the like motivation behind that song. The inspiration behind it was just like just seeing everything just happening and everything keep happening and nothing changing. It was just like, you
Yeah,
know,
absolutely. Like we live in a society where like people want hope to come, but they feel like this hope is going to like come like in the best way possible. Like I feel like people imagine change in like such a like cinematic way. Like it's playing out in a movie. Like things start off rough, but like in the end, like you see change. But it doesn't go like that. Life doesn't work like that.
just like,
And like I feel like when I heard that song, it made me realize even more because I knew this before that like stuff like this, you may see the same things, but I think if we're just able to understand what's happening and just realize that we can hope, but at the same time, we can't just set certain standards to happiness.
right.
Because like one of the most common things I hear is that like, oh my God, this 2020 has been shit. Yo, I just can't wait till 2021. Like, why are you picking till 2021 for things to
Like,
get better? Like, why can't you say, yo, tomorrow can get better? Or like, like
right.
it's basically saying like, yo, you're setting your standard for happiness. You're basically setting like, okay, you're saying like 2020 is gonna be shit the rest of the year. So I'm just waiting until January 1st for things to
Exactly,
get
bro.
better.
That's a big issue too, because it's like humans, like in general, bro. Even me, I have that problem too. I'll be like, yo, I'm gonna be happy when this happens. You know what I'm saying? Like when this comes, you know what I'm saying? It's like, nah, like today, bro. Like you got today, like change shit now. Like fuck 20, like all that shit's man made. Like time's man made.
Mm-hmm.
Not even like a real thing. Like 2021, what's the difference? Like when December 31st happens, like when January 1st comes, what's gonna change? Like it's gonna be like a magic. It's just
Yeah, like I find that's like very like humorous to me, but I
yeah,
just feel
but
like, if we're just able to grasp and understanding of stuff like this, then I feel like we can move better as a community.
right, exactly, man. Like, nah, I know 2020 has been shit. Nah, don't get me wrong, but
Oh yeah, garbage.
don't get me wrong, but I don't know. Like, it's just a year. At the end of the day, like, it's the same. I don't know,
Yeah,
shit.
absolutely. So, what would you say to someone who's trying to like get into like the music industry or like trying to do what you're doing and like they really have nowhere to start at? Like, what advice would you give to someone like that?
I would say if you really want to do it, just find out your kind of lane, your sound, your just your lane. Like it takes practice too. You gotta experiment with different things and practice on finding who you are as an artist and who you want to be as an artist. I'm still finding that myself. It's not it's an ongoing process kind of, but you just kind of just gotta go just keep creating and also don't hold nothing back. Like don't be hesitant to drop something just because you think like, oh, they're not gonna gravitate towards it, they're not gonna like it. Don't be hesitant like that. Just drop everything because it's like we live in an age where it's in one ear and out the other. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
people not gonna pay attention to you if you're not in their face like consistently, right?
Yeah.
So you just got to be consistent, stay in people's face, and drop everything. Just throw everything at the wall and see what sticks, basically. Because that's like one of my like. If I would say I have a regret, it's just not dropping as much as I should. You know what I mean? Like just holding back on things because I was just hesitant. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So
Absolutely.
yeah, just drop everything because later, you're gonna thank yourself. Like when you actually just put everything out. Because people, you might have a song that like you don't like, and it's just sitting on your laptop, and this might be somebody's favorite song, bro. Like somebody else's
Oh
favorite.
yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And people might like it, and you just think you just have that little doubt in your mind. So I'd say just drop everything and be consistent, and yeah, that's it, man. That's
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I think that should just be like how people, that should be everyone's mentality just in general, like
yeah,
I
man.
know when I dropped a couple episodes for the safe room, like I was wondering to myself, how long is it gonna last? It's gonna be like a week thing. Am I just bored because I'm stuck in quarantine or such? Like you just gotta have that confidence to just go out there and like I do respect how like I know you have to balance so many things, work, university, your music and everything. And like I do appreciate like your work ethic still, like just being able to like still drop content and like still drop hits, man. Like and not even like just hits, like bangers too, man. Like yo, I listen to your songs still, man. Like
Oh yeah, but appreciate that, man. Yeah, man. Nah, it's just
yeah. So okay, I have one more question. So like who is like I guess your musical inspiration? I mean, obviously when someone is like in the music industry, like they usually have someone like they attend to like, like upon based on again their style, how they present themselves. Like is there anyone you I guess like look up to or at least like say try to compare yourself in a way?
I don't really say compare myself, but yeah, like it's Lupe Fiasco.
Mm,
He's an artist that I really like just because he's a guy that just speaks on real shit, real things that are going on, and he speaks on like his subject matter is super like left field. It's not like what most rappers is talking about, and
yeah,
it's
exactly.
like things that's going on in the world, and he's like kind of he's somebody that I look up to just because his subject matter and the positivity speaks on his music. He speaks. He doesn't really rap about like things that are detrimental to our community and things like that. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And just his lyrics to his songs are just incredible. But yeah, Lupe is one. Who else? it's a lot actually. Like I listen to everybody, man. I listen to like everybody. Young boy, I love Young Boy. He's one of my favorite artists right now. NBA Young Boy.
Mm-hmm.
He's like his melodies and it's the way he delivers his flows and shit. And yeah, I like him a lot. I wouldn't really say I try to emulate him. Maybe like with the style kind of, obviously not with like the subject matter and things like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I try to take inspiration from a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? It's like because it's I feel like you can learn something from everybody almost. You know. Um, one
Yeah.
more, I would say Russ. Because
Mm-hmm.
I just like his come up, like his story. It's just super inspirational. Like to any artist, it's like he has a story that's kind of like I could do it yourself kind of mentality, just like do it yourself, drop everything, and like literally what I was saying, like that's all from him. You know what I'm saying? Like just watching his interviews and things like that. Like it's a lot of game that I got from Russ. So yeah,
Yeah, that just sounds great, man. Like it's weird too, because I know there's some people that that do criticize Russ, and I don't understand why really, but
no,
I
it's
mean I think that's the one thing you're going to see. They're going to be like critics that like talk about your music in a negative manner, but like it's the artists that choose to actually let that negativity get to them, and like that's really defines how you are in the game. But I do think like you're heading to the right path. Honestly, you know, you're doing your thing, and like I respect it a lot. And I do hope that you see like great success in the future, man.
thank you, man, for real. Appreciate that, man. That's love.
Yeah. So yeah, that's all the questions I've asked. So Musti, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah, guys, thank you for watching. Again, make sure you tune in for the season finale that's coming up soon. And yeah, see you guys later.
Peace.